Good. We didn't know if you could fit us in your busy schedule today. But it's good to be back. A wide open session, as opposed to specific questions from yesterday. No specific questions today, we are told. Just let us say whatever we would like. A dangerous proposition, if ever we heard one. Questions are good, but Saul has been contemplating not asking questions unless they come from other people, because it went so well from his point of view yesterday, and of course we agree. Hopefully the recipient didn't mind the answers, but he has a conundrum which we have discussed in previous videos of if any one person's future or a collective of individuals, or say country or planet as we described in the past, wants to know its future or has questions along those lines, in which we have said and argued or delivered our opinion as to why it is not in the best interests of those or the single person involved. Then Saul argues that, well, what is that wipes out, or potentially wipes out, a lot of potential questions being answered and therefore not asked. And he understands why we play by those rules. And then he questions psychic abilities, tarot card readers, and horoscope interpreters, to which we have already answered, but apparently those answers are not good enough. By the way, when it appears we are laughing, most of the time he is laughing. That is him coming through. He cannot wait for the replay to laugh. He must laugh while it is being delivered, and that is fine. Also chuckling there. We can give answers, but it is not the best way forward. And he has realized the best way forward is for you each, and as a collective, to find your own way. But we do not mean to say that if presented later down the line with specific questions about when am I going to get out of this certain situation, and should I buy this house, we don't mean to be rude. We don't mean to try and project an air of holding back for mystical reasons, or we know something you don't know. Try again. We don't need to. We understand your drive for more information, for help, for guidance. That is what we are here for. But specifics do no one or collective any good. He's also not as concerned, but concerned about not having a focal point, a name. Because both go hand in hand. If we say our name is Charlie, then who is Charlie? And it gets distracted into who is who. If we say, buy that house, and the next year or less it is hit by a natural disaster and destroyed, who is to blame? Charlie, you for believing in Charlie, you for buying the house, God for the natural disaster. Should we say, don't buy that house, it'll be hit by a natural disaster? Maybe we should. Maybe you would argue that. But maybe the natural disaster isn't such a disaster. It puts you maybe in touch with someone or an organization or a line, a way of thinking that changes your life for the better. Always looking at the negative. Rarely the silver lining. These are mere examples. We don't anticipate you to continue to call us Charlie. Not that there's anything wrong with the name Charlie. But these are the reasons and examples of what you focus on. Not just Saul, but anyone going forward. It is fine and dandy that those channelers out there say, I am channeling so-and-so, and we'll keep it that way. A steady stream, a familiar stream, a familiar name. That is all well and good. There's nothing wrong with that. But in this connection, we are reticent to assist in that manner because it is de-empowering instead of empowering or disempowering. In the first video or so, we said that we might want to make you uncomfortable, and surely this line of providing guidance would be more uncomfortable if it were curtailed in its detail of specifics. Again, if people were to come forward with questions as specifics, it is not that we would ignore them. It is not that we would grow tired of answering their questions in a way maybe that they would not anticipate, but would provide the enlightenment or at least the tools to come at their questions on their own from a different perspective. And that is the perspective that we can offer. Saul has already mentioned, we have already discussed today, that he might be further down a road than many people, but he realizes he's not that far down the road. And he is having to remind himself that just a little bit further that he is down the road can be of service to those not as far. If he stops focusing on trying to help everyone at every time with his gifts and worrying about what does this feeling mean, he can help a lot more by continuing to provide the space and time for guidance in this manner. He has sought guidance for years regarding his abilities and has been frustrated many times to the point of downright weeping, lonesomeness, anger, confusion. Continued feeling in battle with abandonment. Relax is a dirty word, but learning how to relax in a lifetime usually takes a lifetime right before you're dead physically. It's a long haul. Not a sprint. Not even all the marathons you can run in one life. It's difficult to remember this. It's difficult to believe it. And for that, we smile and show love. The more love transmitted in creation will continue learning. He was even searching just a moment ago for community and communities locally of a psychic or channeling nature, just to meet others like him. But it is difficult for him because he is not interested in all the rest. And that is fine. We are not saying he should focus on one set of abilities over another. We would never do that. but he has many abilities, many of which people in his closest circle of friends and family do not know about, not even of a mystic nature, but of his music making abilities, for example. His writing abilities are more known, but still not considered his employment, for example. And so, questions of, well, what to do with this access and these recordings help as many people as come to seek. He realizes it's a small group now who don't even seek. It will take time to help more. And we could say there will be more, but there could be no more. And we would hopefully continue these recordings and see what can be done with them to help people, not in a one-on-one way. You never know what the future holds, and that is preferred. Now he is grasping at straws again for new questions. When he intimated this would be a free-flowing connection recording. So just relax for a moment. Surely we have the ability to affect many more people in a positive manner. He couldn't resist the question or the comment. Of course, in a way, you give us too much ability or respect or abilities or respect. We appreciate it. There's only so much non-physical entities can do to help. By definition, you cannot physically do anything to alter your experience. Only through the gracious agreements made worldwide through these channelers and avenues is the only way we can help. We can hope for the best that some help will be recognized by you each to help you out and fulfill your desire for happiness along each path. But if it doesn't work out, we do not give up. And of course, it's normal to question, who are we to help at all? What if we could meddle and did meddle in your affairs, trying to be positive, bring positive change and forces and people into your lives to make them better? That is a lot of assumption and respect that as soon as it goes wrong or doesn't go at all, could be used against the trust and connections that we do have. It is a balancing act, of course. But we feel the responsibility of not treading too heavily on your life path or trying to summon you to other paths that might be more beneficial. Who are we to say? We offer our guidance in a stifled or limited function for a reason. You are all capable of making grand lives for yourselves, by yourselves, without any guidance, you see. And now, just to explain, Saul feels immense. His legs feel like redwood trees. If we were not speaking and recording, he would feel the entirety of the solar system, at least, if not the galaxy, at his hand. Just to express what you already have as abilities, which have been said before. This is not just to soul, abilities-wise. You have everything at your fingertips, and you don't realize it. Saul can feel it right now. Maybe you can too. When you watch this, we hope it's coming through. It is such an immense feeling right now that he doesn't even really want to continue recording so he can stop and feel it. But that's not exactly how it works. You can't hold on to the solar system or the galaxy. You just have to know that it's there for you. What other reason is it there for? You're here now. No matter when this is seen, you are here now. And all of this is for you. Hard to believe, especially if you have nothing in your mind. But it is. And even if you take the tiniest pebble of sand equivalent of that energy, potential, love, creativity, whatever you want to call it, the tiniest grain of sand of that whole, and that's just a piece as well, as you know. could power everything on your planet, ideas wise. So it is from that point of view, in a way, ridiculous for you to ever think that you need anyone else or anything else or any non-thing else to help you. You are the light of the world. In all that is. It's high time you started believing it, feeling it, and having the trust to know that it's all yours. If you don't claim it as a group, as creators, no one else will. If you don't tell people that it's there, and there's more than enough for every soul on the planet, on every planet, seen and not seen. We're not talking just money or food, but the energy to be happy, to feel love, to make anything you want without fear. It's all there. It's all here for you, each and together. Yes, it's a big title, the light of the world. But we tell Saul that, so he can tell you he is not the only light of the world. But if he doesn't believe it, how can he help you believe it? How can we help him? And how can we help you? Just try it on for size. Give it a 30-day money-back guarantee, having spent no money on it, no charge. Take it for a spin. We don't think this is the recording you were expecting. But if you thought, we can't surprise that these sessions wouldn't be worth your time, boy, were you wrong. Please feel free to stop following and recording if you think or feel we are ever leading you astray from this feeling right now. Because if you don't mind us blowing our own horn, then Saul could feel it. This should be enough, and has in it enough quote-unquote answers to fix or deal with anything that would come your way, not just ours. And without sounding too abrupt, we will leave for now, but Saul will take his time. And if you can feel it too, dear viewer, take your time in ending the recording. Until next time.